Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, the realities of work for the average individual person, probably young, entering the job market, is that it's hyper competitive and difficult as fuck. Whether you're a mysterious dude doing certain things as an agent of the state like a soldier, or for the average individual wanting to be a lawyer or a doctor reaching their full dreams. This is because of things like globalization and capitalism and the nature of how competition and meritocratic outcomes go. It's precisely because of the advent of things like AI and other technology that make on average a lot of jobs dispensable. The ultimate way to be able to show your proof of work and be able to compete is truly through maximizing utility and being the most productive. This is because the job market is a zero-sum game, meaning if a smarter, richer, more experienced, type A, handsomer, more hot individual from India or China, no equity meant, gets that slot, newsflash, it's a very scarce number of slots and you are not going to be able to get that supervisory or middle management job that is the way for you to be able to climb that corporate ladder and be able to improve your standing within that particular organization. It becomes particularly harder to get that absent being able to sever. We believe that severance is the ultimate check and balance against the toxicity of capitalism, while at the same time being able to reap all of the benefits of the system. Yes, we on side closing government believe you can have your cake and eat it too, and that's exactly what this technology allows you to do. You're able to lock the fuck in and go beast mode on both sides. You're able to have max utility and productivity when you're locked in working, which allows you to increase your output, and at the same time it allows you to be able to maximize everything in life at the point in which you're able to get the upside of a salary and a raise when you're able to lock in as opposed to being wrecked. The harm of the counterfactual is that you get super distracted and super duper worried about your diametrically opposed life, because we're all not sociopathic, meaning your work affects your home life affects your work, you end up getting anxious, depressed, having PTSD, especially as opening opposition says when they characterize and talk about there are certain mysterious or dangerous shit like being a soldier, mercenary, or agent of the state. I have a couple of strategic observations of Top Half Clash thus far. Number one, opening government is correct to be able to explain the model and the benefits of such, and they at best explain to us the benefit of compartmentalizing and talk about and prove a sense of urgency of you desiring it. We on closing government are going to be outcome dependent of that subjectivity because we recognize being able to compartmentalize or being able to be happy or stressed just means different things for different people. The nuance specifically here to the job market is that whether you are thicker skinned or thinner skinned, balat sibuyas or whatever, or you have a heart of a mamon, the reality is that work is going to screw you over. And this is also riding on the characterization opening up gave, which is people are kind of woke and all that and all of these progressive stuff. That is to say, on-side opening opposition, people often have a very misunderstood misconception of how life is going to go, how work really is, which leads to more disappointment. We're here to compartmentalize. Responses will be integrated. What is the path to victory coming from closing government? Number one, we're going to give you the anatomy and dissect the difficulty of the corporate rat race and why exactly on our side your quality of life is able to increase, not just because of happiness that opening talks about, but exactly why through being able to maximize productivity through the utilitarian metric of being able to lock the fuck in where at your work allows you to be able to chill the fuck out when you're at home, literally enabling you to be able to improve your standing, which makes you more likely to be able to get a raise, get a promotion, and as a consequence, is a positive feedback loop to be able to enjoy more. TLDR, why exactly this becomes a check and balance against the harms of capitalism, while at the same time maximizing the utility of money that comes upstream of happiness and is even a prerequisite for happiness to happen. This is particularly because the comparative is that when you are just being able to compete with other people, mind you, other people who might be opting into the severance scary thing is the point in which they're gonna outwork and outcompete you because they're able to lock in, as I said in my pre-oration. This makes it disproportionately harder given the subjectivity of things like the birth lottery, your particular mental capacity, your ability to work, that makes it harder to be able to compete against those people who are doing the severance thing. Meaning, whether we're talking about being locked in as a soldier and the agent of the state trying to be nationalistic and save the world against bad guys, or trying to be the best janitor and most efficient janitor possible in order to prove your worth in the company amidst the backdrop of people getting laid off and ultimately jobs being dispensable. Let's examine this from the lens of a fresh graduate, an average Gen Z woke individual. A lot of them are very shielded and naive to the realities of work because of things like the pandemic, because of things like technology, which make them think like we're such a fine and dandy place all of the time. People want to go to Bali, be a digital nomad, they want to work from home, they want to have their cake and eat it too. Uniquely as an individual entering that, it allows you to be able to do so. Why? Because an agent of the state allows you to be able to protect yourself against bad guys and nefarious actors who are trying to gaslight you, threaten your family, and ultimately put you in a position to be emotionally vulnerable, compromising your mission and putting you at a chance to be killed or be captured. Or, as an average dude, a doctor, a lawyer, a guy working in Nestle, P&G, Unilever, stress as fuck, it allows you to not bring all those deaths and scary cases at home, which ultimately stifle your quality of life. Opening opposition talks about how at work, it allows you to be able to do these particular things because you're able to talk to all sorts of people. You have the 70-30 thing. Our response is also math. We have 100-100. You're respectively locked in and are able to compartmentalize and be able to put yourself in a capacity to compete and at the same time milk that productivity. They talk about being able to not deal with the harms of the other kinds of unions and stuff. We think that there are many mechanisms to deal with this. A, you still have local and international governments. B, you still have unions. Bro, unions aren't external to the company, they're internal. C, HR departments. 4, get a hobby. We recognize that this will be stressful, this will be harder, but uniquely you're able to position yourself to be able to enjoy as an Innie and as an outie when they don't interact. We are very proud to extend and stand on side proposition.